Hello and welcome to CKE 10,001's gaming channel. In this video we'll be looking at my Weiss Schwarz Mushoku 8 standby deck profile. In my deck build I'm running 16 level 0s, 9 level 1s,
8 level 2s, 9 level 3s,
and 8 climax cards. So here we have the top row are the 0s. We have a lot of 1-ofs, techie 1-ofs. So offering a hand Rudis. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can choose one of your other six-sided world characters, and that character gets plus 1,000 power until end of turn. And then when a climax is placed in your climax area, you can return this card to your hand, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, put them on top of your deck in any order, and then choose one of your characters, and that character is plus 1,000 power until end of turn. So combos of the standby climax, because you want an empty row to stand by a card into. So you have this on the board, you pump up 1k, play the standby climax, bounce this back up, then you have an empty spot that you can stand by a character into. Then we have 1 copy of Unraveling Heart Lilia. It's activate, rest this card, choose one of your characters, and that character gains the following ability until end of turn. When this card's battle point becomes reverse, you can put that character into your opponent's stock, and if you do, put the bottom card of your opponent's stock into your waiting room. Mainly use it for the first effect just to counter standby decks that want to encore their board back. This prevents them from encoring because it sends it somewhere else and it won't hit the waiting room. Then we have 1 copy of a Seductive Invitation Heiress. When this card is put into your waiting room, you can discard a card. If you do, you can look up to 4 cards from top of your deck and then choose a level 1 or higher card from one of them and add it to your reveal to your opponent, put it in your hand. So it helps mill standby targets and add possibly event cards into your hand. Then we're running 4 copies of the Runner, Talent for Magic Rudis. It has 2 effects. The first is if 5 more cards in your hand, this card gets plus 2 power, and at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can move this card to an open position of your center stage. This helps start plussing early game and gets reverses. This is the consistency card. We're running at 3 copies. Eye on the forehead, Rigard. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can put 1 card from your hand into your clock. If you do, you can search your deck for 1 6-sided world character, reveal to your opponent, put your hand, and shuffle your deck. So this gets any specific characters you need that you're missing. Running 3 copies of the Brainstormer. Things that can give you Roxy. It has 2 effects. The first is when your climax is placed in your climax area, you can choose one of your characters, and that character gets the following ability until end of turn. When this card attacks, you can pay the cost. If you do, perform a trigger check 2 times. And the second effect is to activate Brainstorm, pay 1, rest this card, flip over 4 cards, and then
you can salvage characters from the waiting room for each climax revealed.
Then we have this card, Lolly, Scornful Eyes, and Friendly Roxy. When this card is placed on stage, you can pump a 6-sided world character, 1,500 power, plus 100 power until end turn, and the second effect is the climax swap. Another 1-of. Audible Gas Roxy. You usually use it just for the second effect to get the event from your waiting room. Then we have a Spammable Brainstormer. It has a first effect. When the card is placed on stage from your hand, if you have 2 or more other 6-sided world characters, you can draw 1, discard 1. And then the second effect is activate Brainstorm, pay 1, flip over 4. And for each climax reveal, perform the following action: search your deck for 1 6-sided world character, reveal to put in your hand, choose a card in your hand, and put it in your waiting room. At level 1, we're running 2 copies of Swordsmanship Coach Ghislaine. Continuous, this card gets plus 500 power for each other 6-sided world character and has accelerate effect. It gets 1,000 power, and then when it reverses, you can look at top 4 and grab a character. Then we have 2 copies of Amulet of Migrid Race. If you do not have a character with Roxy in its card name, you can't play this card. When you activate it, you can search your deck for 1 character, 6-sided world character, reveal to your opponent per hand, shuffle your deck, and then you put a character into your hand. If you do, choose a card in your hand and put it in your waiting room, and then put this card in memory. And when you level up, you can pull this card out of memory and then search your deck for another 6-sided world character. Then our level 1 combo, we're running 4 copies of Valiant Tsundere Young Lady Heiress. Continuous, if all your characters are a 6-sided world character, this card gets plus 1,000 power. Continuous, so 1/175, and it has a climax combo. When Eris's request is placed from the climax area, if this card is in your center stage and you have another 6-sided world character, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your waiting room. Choose up to 1 level X or lower 6-sided world character in your waiting room. Return to your hand. X equals to the total level of this card's put in your waiting room by this card's effect. Then we have 1 copy of the Leaf counter. And these are your level 2 standby targets. 3 copies of Strong Body Ghislaine. This card gets 2,000 power for each of your other 6-sided world characters in your backstage, and all your other 6-sided world characters get plus 1,000 continuous. And then depending on your local meta, you can switch the number of copies, which standby targets you want. I'm also running 2 copies of Fine Feathers Make Fine Birds Eris. This card gets 1,000 power for each of your other 6-sided world character and has hand encore. Then I'm running 2 copies of the Rest counter, just a Child Roost, and 1 early play Punish Backup. Sword God Style Ghislaine. And then our level 3 standby target, 2 copies of Mega Race Roxy. All your characters in front of this card gets plus 1,000 power. And when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can draw 2, ditch 1. And when your other character trigger checks reveals the climax, you can choose one of your characters, and that character has plus 1,000 power. And the following until the turn, when this card attacks, you may pay a cost, pay 1. If you do during the attack, perform trigger check 2 times on the trigger step. Then our level 3 finisher card, we're running 4 copies of Strong Swordsman Ghislaine. Continuous during your turn. If you have 4 more other 6-sided world characters, this card gets plus 5,000 power and the following ability. Continuous during this card's battle, your opponent cannot play event cards or backup. And when this card is placed on stage from hand, you heal 1. And when this card attacks, climax combo. When this attacks, if Bright Demon Eye is in your climax area, you can pay 2. If you do, deal 2 damage to your opponent. And another standby target that we have at level 2 is Talented Swordsman Paul. 3 effects. The first is if the card is in your center stage, all your 6-sided world characters get plus in your power. Second effect, when this card attacks, you can pay 1. If you do, perform trigger check 2 times. And the third effect, this ability activates once per turn during this card's battle. When damage you receive is cancelled, put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. If that card has a soul trigger icon, you may pay the cost, discard a character. If you do, deal the same damage to your opponent. And 1 copy of the Stock Swap. And then our climax cards, 4 copies of Eris's Request, Standby, and 4 copies of Right Demon Eye, Standby. Alright, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, check EncoreDecks.com and the link in the description below to see an overview of the deck build.